Buongiorno, thanks for the invitation. Sorry not to be present in person in Istanbul. My name is Cassiano Luminati, Director of Polo Poschiavo, lead partner of the project AlpTextyles, funded by the European Union in the framework of the Interreg Alpine Space Program. Along with Markus Lambracht of the Institute of Geography at the Friedrich-Alexander-Universität Erlangen-Nürnberg and Diego Rinallo, Director of the Lifestyle Research Center at the emlyon Business School, we will give you some insights from this ongoing project, highlighting collaborative solutions for a heritage and consumer-sensitive relocalization of sustainable, circular and innovative alpine textile value chains. To discover what this project is all about, we start by showing you a short presentation video.
AlpTextyles is an Interreg Alpine space project that gathers the textile heritage of the Alps to establish a sustainable textile industry in the region. 12 partners develop business and cultural solutions based on sensitivity to local resources. Through cross-border collaboration, the goal is to lower carbon emissions and promote sustainable lifestyles. AlpTextyles focuses on mapping the alpine textile know-how and aesthetics, testing new technologic solutions for circular design and product development, and transferring them into the local ecosystem with online and offline tools. It develops orientation guides for SMEs and business support organizations to upgrade skills in heritage-sensitive marketing, heritage safeguarding toolkits to help cultural institutions to digitize textile traditions, and a policy brief with strategic recommendations for public authorities at the regional and macro-regional levels. The project makes all its outcomes available in a MOOC, a massive online open course for students and professionals, launches actions on the metaverse, and participates in policy meetings of the European Strategy for the Alpine region and multiplier events, including Milano Unica. AlpTextyles is innovative in that it operates at a geographical scale not usually seen, considers consumers' perception and demand for sustainable products, and promotes an unprecedented collaboration level in the textile ecosystem, from breeders and craftspeople to technology experts and designers. Prompting circular, climate-neutral solutions, AlpTextyles also helps to preserve the biodiversity of the alpine sheep breeds, fibers and dyeing plants. It ensures environmental, social and economic sustainability for heritage-based craft and industrial textile production and sustainable lifestyles. AlpTextyles, intertwining cultures.
As you have seen, it's a very ambitious project, and the context we are working in is the known one. The global textile industry is one of the most polluting. The consumers are increasingly pushing for sustainable lifestyles and expect industry to follow suit. But also the Alps have a rich textile heritage, encompassing both traditional crafts and industrial practices with a deep respect for circularity and local resources like wool, linen and natural dyes. So we would like to go towards a heritage-driven sustainability in textiles, and we are working with the concepts of safeguarding and valorizing the textile heritage of the Alps, because we believe it could rebuild local sustainable textile value chains, reducing our reliance on globalized outsourced production. So we are leveraging alpine craft and industrial heritage for sustainability, and tapping into alpine heritage textile practices, we would like to create circular eco-friendly value chains that honor local resources. Through our heritage-focused approach, we aim to strengthen cross-border partnerships which are very relevant in this context and enhance the sustainable use of natural resources like wool that is actually, as we all know, a waste. We would like also to prompt a high level of collaboration between agricultural, industrial and cultural policies, and there is a big lack in collaboration between these sectors. And also working to project an attractive image for alpine products towards the consumers. This would help to boost regional economic growth and create local jobs in interesting sectors. And also we would like us to encourage lifestyles rooted in sustainability and respect for nature. To do all of this in the 36 months that we have at our disposal in this project, we started to map the textile heritage and the circularity in the Alpine area. We are now in the testing and evaluating phase of our circular solutions, and we would like then afterwards to transfer the solutions into the textile ecosystem. But now I hand over to Markus Lambracht and Diego Rinallo, who will present part of the results that we performed until now.
In the first phase of the project, we started with different mapping approaches to highlight the wool sector in the Alps from an economic perspective. On the one hand, geographic maps visualize data in a specific spatial context, in this case, the macro region of the European Alps. And on the other hand, more abstract mappings focus on value chains and economic flows. This map shows the changes in the number of sheep farms over the last decade. The color gradient illustrates the development in the Alpine regions. Overall, there has been a decline in the number of farms, but the extent of this decline varies considerably. Inner Alpine regions such as South Tyrol, the Aosta Valley and Friuli have experienced only small decreases. On the other hand, regions in western France, eastern Slovenia and eastern Germany have experienced severe declines of up to 80%. This can be attributed to several key factors. European farmers are struggling due to low wool prices and inadequate subsidies, leading to a sense of uncertainty among sheep farming associations and farmers about their future prospects. In addition, there are challenges associated with the use of specific qualities of Alpine wool. While shorter, coarser wool from regional breeds can be used in geotextiles and insulation, the longer, finer wool needed for apparel and high fashion production typically comes from overseas breeds. With this in mind, we get a different picture of when we look at the changes in sheep populations in the Alps over the same period. This map shows the trends using green and red gradients. We can observe positive growth in sheep populations in southern Italy, parts of France and eastern Austria. On the other hand, regions in Bavaria, Switzerland and Slovenia show a decline, which in addition to the factors of the previous map, may indicate centralization processes, particularly influenced by the strong textile sector in Italy. Having seen these two maps, I would like to highlight one of the other mappings. Here we see the flows along the wool value chains and their location at different spatial levels. This mapping illustrates the different segments of the production network at different scales and distinguishes global, high and fast fashion clothing production from regionally produced products made from Alpine wool. The main finding reveals a scale and a product split within the value chains. The global value chain is concentrated in the apparel segment with strong links to overseas farms in Australia and New Zealand, as well as low-wage production sites in Asia. Conversely, the regional value chain focuses on home textiles, carpets and insulation, relying heavily on local Alpine wool. The splits come along with a specific situation for Alpine wool that is decisive for its market access. First, the Treaty of Rome regulates agricultural funding across Europe, but does not classify Alpine wool as an agricultural product. This declares raw wool as waste and leaves farmers without funding support. Second, the demands of industrial production requires large quantities of specific qualities of wool. Market access is hampered by quality differences in Alpine wool, as current standards and certifications create barriers. Third, environmental classification tends to favor non-animal fibers. Current calculations overlook the climate benefits of sheep farming and at the same time ignore the environmental impact of synthetic fibers. Finally, various labels support the origin of Alpine wool, which could improve market access. However, the marketing strategies of brands, for example from North America and Asia, that refers to the Alps, weaken the unique identity of Alpine wool products. However, strengthening existing regional networks and promoting technical innovation in the Alpine region can offer significant opportunities to improve cooperation and competitiveness of Alpine wool. Highlighting the value of wool can increase consumer demand by emphasizing transparent farming practices, innovative production processes, and marketing strategies. Successful examples within the Alpine region paved the way for greater added value for the Alpine wool sector.
Thank you very much, Markus, for setting the stage. Now I present the marketing perspective on our findings, which is the result of the efforts of a group of researchers at emlyon Business School in France. In our analysis, we discovered that many brands exist that emphasize local wool sources over imported options, in some cases even from indigenous sheep breeds, We termed this the original fiber communication approach. While much of marketing research focuses on the place of manufacturing or the brand origin, the promotion of sourcing local materials has so far received limited attention. We wanted to understand whether this original fiber could be a viable marketing approach for these brands. To explore this, we looked at existing data on consumer perceptions, like the insight coming from the Horizon 2020 TRIC project. Markus and colleagues at Erlangen-Nürnberg visualized consumer preferences. As you can see, pretty much everywhere, consumers claim to prefer products with natural fibers. Building on this, we conducted qualitative and quantitative studies. Today, I will share findings from just one of our experiments, where we tested the impact of communication local wool origins on consumer responses. Many more findings, however, are available in our consumer insight reports, which are available on the AlpTextyles website. In this particular study, we focus on two native breeds, Merino Darls with the French sample and Pecora Ciuta with the Italian sample. Here you see our findings. Products using these native wools positively influence purchase intentions, but this effect hinges on perceived authenticity. In other words, it's not direct. However, the stronger the perception of authenticity, the higher the intention to buy. We also observed that native ingredients impact perception of prestige and company sustainability. This perception played a minor role in shaping purchase intentions compared to authenticity, but still, overall, this is very good news for wool producers, as these findings give good reasons to buy local wool. You'll be perceived as more authentic, more prestigious, and more sustainable, and this will impact intention to buy products. There's, however, one key takeaway for wool producers, which is the following. Consumer awareness of local sheep breeds is very low. 71% of our sample didn't recognize these breeds before our study. This is very bad news because if it's not received, there will not be the effect we highlighted before. However, there's also an opportunity. Raising awareness about the value of local wool and its often wasted potential can stimulate consumer preferences, purchase intentions, and even willingness to pay more. But breeders need to communicate directly to consumers before this can take place. And now, back to you, Cassiano, for the conclusion.
So thank you, Markus and Diego, for your insights of the research we performed in this project. And but what can you expect from this project? We are developing a range of collaborative solutions that include climate-neutral solutions for SMEs, like orientation guides for firms seeking to innovate in a heritage system and circular manner. Also, toolkits for cultural institutions to safeguard textile heritage, and a policy brief addressing the European Union strategy for sustainable and circular textiles, and other policies at national and regional levels. And if you are interested in the results of our project or materials, researches, and so on, please go on our website, on our YouTube channel. You'll find a lot of the materials, and follow us on our LinkedIn page. And now our 15 minutes are over, and I hand over to the moderation, and I thank you for your attention, and we are at your disposal for further questions.